We're on. Ready? Yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the September 30th, 2025 meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first thing we have on our agenda are approval of our minutes. Gentlemen, do we have any additions or corrections?
I do not.
I do
Okay.
not.
I move to approve the proceedings of the Board of County Commissioners for Montezuma County held on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County for September 23rd, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, planning. Looks like we have everybody here. All right, this being the time set aside for a public hearing for an application submitted by Paul and Dana Weyand. Would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsay.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhagen.
Here.
Administrator Anderson is absent. Attorney Tarnowski.
Here.
I start to say McLaren. And Kim Purcell, clerk. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for a review and determination regarding a proposed 16-lot major subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Paul and Dana Weyand, Agent Cody Maxwell, on property located at to be determined Highway 145, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 91.76 acres, more or less, located south of Road M, west of Highway 145, situated in Section 13, Township 36 North, Range 16 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, at 9 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the planning office's online services at https://montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com public home. You may also contact the planning department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 15th day of September 2025, Kim Purcell, clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado, published in the Journal on Wednesday, September 16th, 2025.
All right, thank you, Kim. And just one correction. We do have our administrator attending via Zoom, just so that everybody is aware of that. He is on the screen. All right, Don, would you give us an overview on this, please?
Sure. So Cody Maxwell is proposing to create a 16-lot major subdivision on Paul and Dana Weyand's property that they currently own. Access is off of Highway 145. He does have a CDOT access permit for 17 residences. There's 35 acres that entails the pond and the drainage area that is not part of the subdivision, and then the 16 lots. There is an access easement on the west side of the 91 acres just for future utilities, should that ever develop further to the west towards Mildred Road. That's basically it.
Okay. Would you like to add anything, Mr. Maxwell?
No, sir.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions at this time?
Not at this time.
I don't.
My only question, obviously, is always with CDOT, and you do have the access permit.
We have an approval from them. We don't have the notice to proceed yet, but we do have their approval.
Okay. Is there any upgrades to that or I guess it's not an intersection, it's just an access point?
Correct, yep. No upgrades there, no turn lanes.
Is that like in the low point?
Yeah.
Kind of by the rock shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be just south of the rock
Just,
shop.
okay.
Yep.
Kind of what I thought. Okay. That's all I have at this point in time. So at this point in time, I will open this application up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against the application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comment, and you may address the board at this time.
You guys draw quite a crowd.
Okay. Seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this application. And gentlemen, I'll bring it back to the board.
P&Z,
They were unanimous to recommend it for approval. Only condition was to notify each new lot owner of the land use code.
very good, good point.
I think that's supposed to be being done all the time,
Well,
specifically. Have you met back with the realtors again, Don? Way off the topic, but didn't you meet with them a year ago or so, just letting them know that all of them should be letting people know?
Yeah, I met, I think it was almost 2 years ago now.
2 years ago.
Jane just met with the realtors back in May, I think it was, June. We advise them all the time to promote that we do have a land use code.
And I
So-
gave them copies of the land use code.
So as a condition to this, I mean, is that really a condition that needs to be warranted, I guess is my, I would hope that they're doing what they need to do their jobs.
Hopefully,
Not
but
sure it's a condition of an application.
you hear all kinds of stories and what they know about property they don't share with us.
Okay.
And it's usually non-compliant stuff. I think they're more in the business of selling than promoting.
Commissioner, to answer your question, I don't think it goes to the approval or denial of the
Yeah,
application.
I guess that's what I'm saying, is this doesn't really, should be a condition of approval of an application. That's
No.
my point.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
So he will have covenants. Those covenants do include the provisions out of the land use code as a minimum. This subdivision will only allow one residence per lot.
Okay. Which is more restrictive than the land use code.
Correct.
Right. Okay. I
I
don't
have
have
nothing.
anything else. Go ahead.
I would so move we approve the proposed 16-lot major subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Paul and Dana Weyand, agent Cody Maxwell, on property located at to be determined Highway 145, Cortez, Colorado.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed 16-lot major subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Paul and Dana Weyand, agent Cody Maxwell, on property located at TBD Highway 145, Cortez, Colorado. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, you have been approved, sir.
Thank you.
And I will close this public hearing.
And then we actually have two more items, but they are just, the first one's item 1, signing the Mylar for amending the Hartman Heights Subdivision. And then the second one is the signing the Mylar for Archuletas for their 3-lot minor. They did receive their CDOT access permit, and no changes, nothing's required on the highway access.
Okay.
It did allocate 6 residences on 4 parcels, so that I think will probably be the maximum in the future without
Some kind of
realignments, changes, turn lanes, something different, but
Okay.
they're okay to go now.
Roll them out.
You know, that ground to the west of there, I thought she put that stuff in the conservation easement.
Because I thought the west they ran into her town.
Hey, you're stuck.
Oh.
There. Get it off like a little hole.
Why did he put that? I should have brought that up, I guess. Why did he put that possible extension out that way?
There's no way. Yeah, you're right, because that fence line goes past the church and it goes all the way to the north. Yeah, that is in a conservation easement, because that was part of Mary Jane's, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I guess I should, I didn't think about it until,
Yeah, you're right. You're sure right.
she did put that in one, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wonder if he even knows that. Yeah. Well,
Find out soon enough.
Hmm?
I'll find out soon enough.
yeah, I guess so.
That's all we have on our agenda for
That's
this
all you
morning.
have.
Yep.
All right, very good.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, I actually surveyed the crowd this morning, and I do not have any public comments, so I will not go through the dissertation of the reading of that. We're going to go right straight into our consent agenda. We have 2 items on our consent agenda, which were presented yesterday in our workshop. One is the Montezuma County Hotline Connection Center contract approval, and the other one was the Colorado Parks and Wildlife Pass to Mesa Verde grant decision, which this grant decision is not going to be submitted to the CPW that was due this Wednesday.
So Commissioners, just for clarification, I guess, my recommendation would be that we make a record that that item is going to be removed from the consent agenda, because when we read the language for our consent agenda section, it says
It's approval.
that it's for approval.
Okay.
And so I think we should be really explicit that if it's the board's intent not to approve it, it should be removed and discussed separately, not as part of the motion for the consent agenda.
Okay. So then we actually only have one item for the consent agenda today, and it's the Montezuma County Hotline contract. So with that, gentlemen, what's your pleasure?
Move we approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. It is approved. Okay,
That's the.
That's the hotline
That's that
contract.
hotline contract.
we have next is a liquor license renewal, Jerry?
My name's Jerry Frizzell. I do the liquor license renewal and new licenses for the Montezuma County. Today I have one for Maverick Incorporated, which is located at 10223 US Highway 491. And I have the letter from the sheriff saying they've had no violations.
No violations or anything?
Nope.
Going on? Okay. I move to approve this retail liquor license renewal application by Maverick Incorporated, Store 275 at 10223 Highway 491, Cortez, Colorado.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the retail liquor license renewal application for Maverick Incorporated, store number 275, located at 10223 Highway 491, Cortez, Colorado. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Anything else, Jerry?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
All right. We have no reason for a executive session today, so we're going to go straight into a county attorney's report.
Good morning, Commissioners. My office got a new notice of claim yesterday regarding what reads to me like a slip and fall at the Cortez Rec Center. And so essentially our insurance doesn't cover events where they don't believe the county would have any liability, so I don't believe this would be something insurance would cover. I've already reached out to the firm that sent that notice of claim and tried to talk to them about that to try to be as efficient as possible with my office's time, essentially. We've got a similar situation with that. One of the other notices we got recently was about alleging improper snow removal on 491 last spring. Different incident than the multi-car accident that was also same time of year earlier this year. So hoping to reach out to them and connect with them too, see if we can communicate that and save me a little extra time, basically having to deal with that. In general, over the past week I've been trying to work on the solar reg update. We got that from a recommendation from P&Z, hoping to get together with Don and then over the next couple days and work through that and get that back to the board in a timely manner. We've also got a pretty substantive child protection hearing this afternoon that our assistant county attorney's been working on. We've just got a lot of activity on that front. It's just kind of random how that always works, but right now definitely seems to be a more active time maybe than we were expecting. But and then I'm also still working with administration on some of our longer term issues about the negotiations for the FOP's unionization collective bargaining process, and just some other smaller issues, day-to-day type stuff. Commissioner Candelaire, I know you had asked about where we're at on the kind of like land use code enforcement issues. We still haven't really made any headway on that. Still just haven't had the time, but it's on my to-do list still. I think we'll get that moving here probably in the next couple weeks. But still have not really had the time to get that off the ground at this point.
I actually, we did have our coffee with the county yesterday, and actually blight and land use code issues. Obviously, our planning director was with us yesterday, so that was discussed again yesterday also, so just a FYI. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Travis, I'm going to call on you. I think you can hear me.
Good morning, Commissioners. I hope you can hear me.
We can hear
Okay,
you.
so last week was pretty busy. Been working with the town of Dolores and Dolores School District, providing them with some data on time allocations. Followed up with Summit Food Service. They're going to be working on a contract for the kitchen services for the jail. Received a lot of inquiries from County Administrators Association regarding unfunded mandates, and particularly the WUI code. Just to follow up with the commissioners, last week You had inquired about the funding for the tire disposal program through the CDPHE. It appears that that funding no longer exists. Road and Bridge, they're going to be working on some damaged roads due to rain and excess water. Just to keep you in the loop, we're going to be transferring the backpack sprayers, the old ones that we have, to High Desert Conservation. Sounds like they're going to restart that program on their end. Again, as Stephen indicated, working on the CBA with the FOP. Worked with Stephen on some road easement issues and some personnel issues. And I think the biggest thing for the commissioners is I attended the Dolores budget meeting last night. They went through some of their priorities. A lot of it was infrastructure, parks and rec related. And there wasn't a whole lot of interest in prioritizing law enforcement. So we're going to be working through that. I sent them some more data today. The town of Dolores, their contract requires 320 hours per month. Let me pull up my sheet. And so for September, the town of Dolores is 111 hours over their allocated time, so there was 430 hours spent in the town of Dolores this month. And 83 hours spent at Dolores schools. So any questions?
I don't have any, Travis.
No.
I really don't have any questions, Travis. I just have a statement. Obviously, I was there, not for the entire meeting, but for the beginning of it and through their special liquor license renewal. But I guess my statement is going to be that, you know, the incorporated municipalities are responsible for their own enforcement, or they can contract with a sheriff, which the unincorporated part of the county are the ones that are paying the LEA fund. And by the trackers that we've been able to track our vehicles, it shows that we're giving a lot more concentration to this municipality without funding, without the funding source. And I think a lot of that is, I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but you know, when we have a sheriff saying that I'm going to do everything for you and not charge you for it, it's pretty disheartening to realize that the rest of the unincorporated part of the county is getting the short end of the stick. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. But I think it's a bigger concern for us that we're going to have to take care of somehow in our budget items. So thanks, Travis. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Kim. Okay, Commissioner Copenhaver.
I don't have much to report this week. Got a meeting today at 1 o'clock with Southwest for some of our audit material. That's about all I got going on. There was a lot of people out at the event Saturday out at the fairgrounds for the whatever motocross or whatever it was that they were doing. I didn't attend it, but it looked like there was a lot of people in attendance out there that Saturday night for it. It was good. It looked like it was a pretty good event, evidently, because there was a lot of interest.
Good.
A lot of people there. I don't know whether you saw what they did in the arena or not. They made all kinds of jumps and everything else in the arena. Had a cat, and I didn't actually go in there and look at it, but it looked like it was quite an event going on. So it's good. And there was a lot of people in the stands.
Good.
Watching. It's good.
Commissioner Lindsay.
All right, we have an item of business to take care of before we proceed. For the Board of Social Services, I would so move that we approve the minutes of the regular session of the Board of Social Services for Tuesday, August 26, 2025, and also the financials in the amount of $1,489,573.64.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the record of proceedings for the Social Services Department on Tuesday, August 26, 2025, and the payables in the amount of $1,489,573.64. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
On to my report. I did attend a Rocky Mountain Gun Owners Association meeting. It was, there was some advertising or some, I guess, verbiage put out that there was going to be a big problem, so I dropped in to see what was going on. A lot of good people there, no problems. It was a well-run meeting, and I appreciate those guys doing what they do. Also went to city council meeting, approved some liquor licenses and some resolutions. Did have an opportunity to go to a BMX bike with a bunch of kids out there, and it's pretty good. So get out, support those BMXers, and also the motocross that was held out at the fairgrounds. Last thing, I went to Durango to a Region 9 meeting, and broadband networking, they're estimating that operation and maintenance of the network is going to cost around $1,500 a mile. And they're looking at different ways of financing and keeping all of this running. A lot of counties and cities are proposing sales tax increases. I know Dolores County, Pagosa, Silverton, and Durango are all going to ask for sales tax increases. Also, there's a lot of counties talking in our region about employees. A lot of them are going back to work from home, but they're also getting a lot of new people and asking us to be patient because the experience level is not there yet. Bayfield is experiencing a lot of annexation, and also Bayfield, and I didn't get a chance to talk to the representative from over there. They're doing something with ag zoning over there that they're pretty hopeful is gonna really enhance their planning and zoning over there. A company called Fading West is supplying quite a bit of affordable housing in our area. Dolores has lost their lawyer. La Plata County is still looking for their county manager. Southern Utes are expanding their broadband west onto non-tribal lands. Mancus has started a new concept for over there for their budgeting, and they're calling it back to basics. So I imagine they're cutting their budget. What else? Also, a lot of people gearing up for what they call the 150-250 project. Colorado's 150-year birthday, and the United States' 250th birthday next year. And last but not least, in 2030, Durango will host the World Mountain Bike Championships. And there's a couple events in the years preceding up there for bicycle racing over in that area, so I imagine we'll see a lot of traffic. And that's the end of my report.
All right, thank you. So I spent last week at a WIR board meeting. First of all, I had to get there, and then I had to get home, which was miserable. Flying back and forth anymore, as I've stated before, is it seems like it's an endeavor for sure. But it was one of the biggest takeaways was when we toured the Marine Corps Mountain Warfare Training Facility, and this is held just kind of, it's in Mono County, California, and it's a pretty unique facility. But one of the things that they are doing right now is they are testing for these facilities, it's battery storage. I've got photos. If you're interested, I'll share them with you later. But it's not using lithium or anything like that. It's a vanadium, which is basically looks like welding slag, if you will. and then it's mixed with salt water. So if there's any issues at all, it's just salt water. Pretty amazing. They're testing it, and specifically they're testing it in that region because of the snowfall that they get and the cold that they get actually in the Sierra Nevadas up there. Pretty interesting. They've got enough to power that whole facility if anything happens up there, which it does happen just because of the region they're in and just because of the remoteness that they are in. But it was an extremely interesting facility to attend, and some of the work that they're doing with their mules and horses, that's all those guys do, is train in cold weather and work with mules and horses all the time. So if you've seen the movie 12 Strong, that's actually, there are people in our military that are doing that type of work right here in the United States. A lot of conversation in our board meeting about PILT and the SRS funding again. One of the biggest takeaways is that we still don't know whether that money, through timber sales, through everything that the Forest Service does, is it really funded or is it not funded? Nobody really can tell anybody, and we'll see what happens tonight, and I don't know what really is happening with any of that. But one of the conversations that we had is that if you take away some of the funding, because the federal government has a big pot of money that they use for conservation easements, and if you take away some of that, you could actually then use that to actually fund PILT for the western part of all of the United States that has public lands. So there were some concepts that were getting thrown out that we're trying to figure out how to help them out with the funding sources for PILT and SRS. Again, like I said, we had our coffee with our county yesterday. Some pretty good conversations were had. Actually went a little bit longer. I wasn't watching the clock as close, but some good conversations yesterday. We did have our workshop, which we took care of all that business today. We had our E911 board meeting yesterday afternoon. Pretty straightforward with their budget items. We did approve $85,000 out of there to go towards the dispatch, to actually pay for a dispatcher, not just the center. And then, like Travis stated, the Dolores budget hearing was Dolores budget meeting was done last night, which, again, I'm somewhat disappointed in some of that, but that's okay. That's their decisions. We'll make ours. With that, that's all that I have.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn this September 30th, 2025 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.